Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I know, it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Been a busy few months for me personally. I've had a lot of growing to do. I've had a lot of changing to do, because suddenly my budget all dried up. Everything just started costing more, and then the Transformers started costing more. So I've had to get real particular, and needing to spend some things on my own self because I've literally put everything into this channel for the past 5 years, and I needed to take care of myself. So I had to buy new socks, I had to buy new shoes, I had to buy a few new things because a lot of my stuff is just destroyed from overuse. And I'm still having to take care of myself and spend a little bit on myself because, like I said, I have put everything into this channel. And now it's time I take a step back and maintain myself for a little while. But I'm still bringing you things. I still love Transformers. I still want to get more Transformers. It's just, you can want all day long, but if you don't have the currency for it, it just ain't going to happen. And that's where I'm at right now. If you want to donate to the channel to help me out, I would really appreciate it. And just hit me up on my email that I have connected to the channel, and I think I have that in my About section. And if I don't, I'll just link my email below in a comment if you want to reach out and work with me on sending me a few donations or something like that to keep the channel running, because this entire channel is me building a nonprofit to assist people by showing them ways that I, as a blind person, climbed out of the pit of depression. And these are things and tools that I utilize to assist me, and that's why I do the Blindformer series, to show you things that helped me, and maybe they will help you too. And also, a verbal explanation for a three-dimensional puzzle box is something that all blind people would really appreciate, I believe personally, because as a blind person, I'd really appreciate that. So I decided to make what isn't there, and something that I wanted that nobody else is making, and so I made it myself because that's just the type of person I am. If I want something and there's none of it available, I guess I'm going to have to make the thing I want. And that's why I do this channel. That's why I do Blindformers. Because I want to help people, and also selfish reasons of I need a verbal video to look back on occasionally whenever I pick up a Transformer I haven't picked up in a few years. I'm like, how do I transform? Oh, right, I did a video. Let me listen to myself for a minute and remind myself how to do things. That's what Blindformers is. Anyway, I'm here with my co-host Cream the cat. Yes, who's a fat guy? He's a good guy. Yes, he is. We had a decent Christmas. I just got clothes, but also I did get one thing for Christmas that I intend to share with you on the channel, and that is this Daredevil. Can you believe that I don't have a blind guy action figure? Like, what in the world? So whenever I have the time shortly, I'm going to be doing a box opening for Daredevil on the channel so that you get my initial reactions to what I think Daredevil's like. But that's enough of the news updates on the channel. One more update. I contacted Evan at Hasbro and asked about Victory Leo. Not Victory Leo. I asked about Leo Kaiser, and he informed me that they will be getting something together shortly and updating all the HasLab people on Leo Kaiser. So if you're like me and you put a lot of money back for Leo Kaiser and you're like, I'd love to know some information about that, Evan's getting it together, and it will be out in the next few weeks, according to him. Okay, I'm adding the next few weeks part because I'm assuming it's going to be in the next few weeks. But he just said he's going to work on it. It was his bad. He dropped the ball over the holiday season, and he's going to be getting us something out as soon as possible. ASAP. All right, now let's get into Brawl. Brawn. This is it, Brawn or Brawl? I want to say it's Brawl. Good grief! I'm pretty sure Brawn is the mini bot that I like. Anyway, this is a Combatacon, and I adore him. This, like like Vortex is an amazing action figure just by himself. We've got some decent joints. He's got 90 degrees in the elbows, but he does have butterflies, both backwards and forwards. Like, look at that. Look at that. He can just spray and pray now. That's cool. He also has full waist rotation, which I know we were missing in the Constructicods. So it's back. Waist rotation, baby. Yeah. We move at a 90-degree sideways kick on him. 90, a little more than 90 upwards kick. I'd give that one 100. And backwards kick. Ooh, he's got decent backwards. Yes, he does. Look at that. That is more than 90 on the backwards. About 100 on the backwards too. Rotation in the thigh. And a full knee that has a ratchet in it, which I like because that's a nice solid knee. I wish the thigh had a ratchet in it. I always want ratchets in the thighs. And then an ankle tilt. He doesn't have any sort of toe tilt on the forward, but due to transformation, he does have a toe tilt so that you can like have him falling forwards if you want. Oh no, I'm falling. All right. That is kind of his articulation. His arms also can spin 360 degrees, and then there is a bicep rotation there as well. I think that's it with the rotations. Yeah. And then, of course, his head's on a ball joint. Yay, head on a ball joint. And then he's got his fun guns. He comes with a little gun accessory, and then he comes with 2 big guns that he can put on his shoulders, or you can put them on his sides too. And I think that's really cool that there's a... I wish they were 5mm ports so you could plug them in all over the place, but I like the fact that you can plug them into either side of the turret down here, or you can plug them onto the back of the tank of the turret, so they can fold over his shoulders. There's also a couple more places to plug them in, and we'll get to that in time. But these 2 guns are really neat. They're, like I said, I wish they had the 5mm port on the bottom so I could mix and match and, fling up some other crazy awesome shoulder cannon guns, like maybe the ones from Victory Leo, just because, why not have some fun? But there's none of that fun to be had with these. And that's definitely a downside, because I do really like the mix and match ability of the weapons. But I also, another part of me appreciates that I'm not going to lose these weapons because they're going to be forever stuck to this guy because they only fit on this guy. So it's one of those 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other moments with those weapons. His little gun isn't too bad either. It's got some decent details to it. It's actually got some really great sculpt work in here. They did put a lot of detail into such a small gun, and I appreciate that. We even have an iron sight on the end, though I do not believe they are blast effect compatible, but we will test that right here on camera so that we all can learn if they're blast effect compatible. Ooh, this is a fun blast effect. So let's plug in his little gun, blast effect compatible with the little gun, and there's a nice little splash pattern. And now let's check the big guns on his shoulders. No, I don't plug the little gun into the big guns. Yeah, the big guns aren't blast effect compatible, which is just a crying shame. But I wonder if they're big enough for those guys. Let's see if the blast effects that came with the Rattler will work on this. No, they won't. I can tell that immediately. Let me put that back. Oh, what about those other ones, though? Those... How did they fit onto that little gun? Oh, yeah, they just kind of slid onto the end. So that's not going to work. Wait a minute. It pulls out. I thought it slid on top of that gun. Come on, you little blast. I haven't unplugged that thing since I got the Rattler. Let's take a look. It fits in there, but it's loose. Oh, it's loose. That would have been cool. I don't know why they're not blast effect compatible. I have to say that's a negative, because having 2 giant cannons on the shoulders that can do the blooshes is just really cool and fun, in my opinion. Oh, sad face. Okay. All right. Sculpt work wise on the model himself, on the on the robot mode, is just great. I love the armor down here at his legs. He's got big old armored boots on. I don't like the fact that they seem to have ignored the thighs again. I really love it whenever they add stuff to the thighs, even just a port so you can plug a weapon in or something like that. I like it when they add stuff to the thighs here, it's sculpting and wise, but he's got bland, blank thighs, and that's just a shame. His groin's pretty good though. You got nice little groin there. For some reason he's got a hole in his groin. I don't know what's going on. Oh no, that's not a hole. That's just an indent where something's etched in there. That's pretty cool. His chest area's got a lot of cool sculpt work. I like these abs that they managed to put in here. Like the impression of abs on his chest. That's neat. And then, of course, his big old tank front for his upper chest. This guy is hefty. He's strong. He stands very well. He is an excellent little robot, and that's why I decided, we're going to do him first this year. This is going to be the first Blindformers episode of 2026 because this is so good, and it's also going to be a merged episode because I don't want to make 3 separate videos this time, so we're just doing a little review, and I have to say the robot mode is up there. I'm going to give the robot mode a 9 out of 10. Just because of those little bits that I was annoyed with. Otherwise, this is a well-done robot mode. And I absolutely love it. And 9 out of 10, no, I don't do that anymore. I'm going to give it an A. Yeah, it gets an A+. It was almost an S rank, but it's an A+. So let's go ahead and get to the transformation point now. So to start the transformation, just go ahead and fold the arms into the, just fold up the elbows, making the arms straight, and then come up here to his chest, and we're going to fold out his chest area. Let's see, how do we do this again? Right. Go ahead and move the back barrel piece. And what did I just knock off? I hope that wasn't important. That totally was important. Where did it go? What did I do with that? How did you get all the way over there? You go there. Okay. Now, let's go back to this. Go ahead and move the turret down and then spin it so the barrel is sticking back up to the sky, because in robot mode, the barrel is facing down towards the ground. And after that, you can go ahead and come over here to his front. You're going to wiggle him a bit, and you're going to deattach that front stuff. But before we can, we've got to move this chest piece. So his chest piece here, actually, if you reach down beside his head, you'll see that there's a rectangular bump that sticks out. And you can kind of get your thumbnail in there, and you pull that entire assembly upwards. And that's his entire chest plate. It folds upwards, like he's the Easy 8 model in a Gundam. And then you can fold his head downwards while you fold his chest upwards. So the head gets folded down with your thumb, while with your forefinger and middle finger, you're pushing the chest up at 90 degrees. And that's going to raise it all up, where now his chest is where his head used to be, and his head is kind of where his chest used to be. And I do like that. That's kind of a neat little bit. After you've done that, go ahead and fold that bit down. And, second. I planned ahead this time. These stage lights are always so hot. Okay, after you get that piece folded down, come over here to the sides, and you're going to go ahead and bring in the arms. But before we bring in the arms, come around here to his back and rotate his waist 180 degrees. And we are going to do something fun with these legs before we really get too started with the arms, because if we fold in the arms, we're going to hide this little bitty peg. So on the side of him, you've got this big peg that sticks out, and it's up and down. And then below, you've got a little peg that sticks out, but it's horizontal. So vertical peg and a horizontal peg. They're both rectangular. One's a bit fatter than the other one. Now, for this little one will be covered up by the arms. So you can't fold in the arms until you take care of that little one. And that's going to require you coming down here to the legs, picking the foot up, picking the other foot up, and go ahead and actually combine the legs together. We can do that real quick because that's just simple and easy. Make sure that you flatten down both of the ankle tilts, and then you just kind of mesh the legs together. There you go. Now, we're going to come down below, and we're going to unfold his heels. This is the part that I like. So when you have him together, you'll find that there's this, you pick up his front armor of his legs that come with his feet, and below you'll find there's the thing that thickens the leg. What is that, you may ask? Well, if you grab that and pull it out at 90 degrees, you're going to learn that it's the treads. They're just sandwiched together. And this is a part of the transformation I personally enjoy. I loved finding these treads hidden like that, like I did with Megatron. Like, these are cool. I like that the treads just kind of sploosh out, and you're like, what? There were treads in there? Oh my god. Now that you have his upper, his the front of his legs and his feet combined together and just kind of hanging upwards in the air, and you have the treads sticking backwards, you're going to rotate the part of his leg that the treads are connected to, and that's going to rotate towards the front of the arms. So you're trying to get the front of the tread, well, the very end of the tread, to go near his armpit. Now, when you feel down the top of the tread, you'll notice there's a bump that sticks out. And that bump has a little horizontal hollow in it that's rectangular, and that fits on that little peg I was talking about earlier. So go ahead and plug both of those treads into the peg on either side. And that is really cool, and it makes a very solid connection. Just rotate those arms up so they're out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and get this tread piece. Come on. Come on now. Come on, Mr. Tread. All you have to do is get there. There you go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Both pieces of tread are now combined against the side of the vehicle mode. Next step, come over here to the shoulders, and there's a bit of tread on the shoulder we got to get rid of. And you can find it by feeling down towards the elbow, reaching your thumbnail in, and pulling out the back of his shoulder. And that's going to fold down. But we're not folding it down yet. All right, now come around here to the other side, use your thumbnail, pull that bit of tread out of the back of his shoulder, and I do love that bit. That is really cool. Now, here comes a part that took me a while to figure out, and I actually got my sighted friend to help me on this. Find his fist. You find there's a little hollow bit underneath his fist, and you may think the fist folds into that because it's the right size, right? Wrong. That's wrong. Reach below, use your fingernail. We're going to try and pull this little panel out. There's a little panel in this arm. There it goes. And it folds out. So his forearm actually folds in half, and this little piece comes up and goes over the fist and then makes a nice little area there. That's going to be the side of the tank. So we're going to do the same on the other side so you can see it, just in case you missed it. So I find that the best way to do this is not what I just did. Don't do what I just did. What I just did is the wrong way. How do I put this back together now? Okay, so we're gonna slip these pieces back together somehow. Right, there it goes. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is find this little groove at the top, and you'll find there's a little groove on both sides. So on the underside of the arm, wait, is that the underside? No, that's the upper part of the arm. Up the upper part of the arm, there's like a ridge, and then there's a hollow, and then there's a ridge at his forearm. And if you pull on that, you'll find that it folds in half and covers the little area and makes a nice little tank side. So now that we've gotten that, and I got to twist him around to figure out where I am. Got a little lost there. All right. Now let's go ahead and fold all this stuff together. So we're just going to fold the arms down and by the shoulders, and they're just going to kind of squeeze into some sockets in there and close down. And then there's those vertical pegs we talked about earlier are going to plug into some really cool spots on the inside of the forearm. There's a little rectangular hole there that is revealed when you pull out that piece, and that is going to fit into the vertical slot. And then this little edge is going to go into and line up with that piece that filled it over with the treads, because there was a piece of leg that becomes the side of the tank armor. Now, next step is getting the shoulder to collapse right. Come on, shoulder, collapse right. There it goes. It collapsed correct. That shoulder collapsed correct. The treads are lined up on the treads, right? Right? Hey, guys, don't be screwing around. That's how you get hurt in shot class, screwing around. All right, there you go. That piece goes there. And then this piece, come on. Where's that little peg hole? There it is. Okay. We just got to rotate it around and get that peg to fit in that peg hole. That shouldn't take too much effort, but it's taking effort. What's wrong with you, peg? Fit in your peg hole. Silly peg. There it goes. Ah, nice. And then it snaps into place there. And we got this piece that kind of snapped into place but did it wrong. Come on. Ah, nuts. All right, fix that. Make sure the treads are still connected to their horizontal peg holes. And we're going to line that up. All right, and we're going to fix that side panel there. Plug that in a bit better. Come on. There we go. Yeah. That's got it, right? No. There it goes. Okay. Panel plugged in. Panel plugged in. That panel is actually plugged in correctly. This panel refuses to plug in correctly because of raisins. So, there we go. Plugged in correctly. Now comes the final step to this transformation, which is where you take these feet and legs and you fold the feet down, and then you fold that leg panel down over the arm panels, and that's going to actually help hold everything in place if for some reason you're like me and this arm refuses to snap into place. Come on, arm. All right, pull these pieces back up, and let's get that arm to snap into place now. Come on. Come on, there. Is that it? Did you do it right? Am I going to be happy with you, or am I going to be upset with you? I'm going to be upset with you, aren't I? Yeah, I'm upset with you. Come on. Come on, you silly arm. Get into place. Did it do it this time? It did. I think it did. There it goes. That's a good, solid connection now. I heard it pop. Yeah, that popped it. Okay, now we're going to fold over these guys. They're going to fold down, lock into place, and that arm is still being wonky, but it's okay. We got it together, kind of. Oh, that's why you're being wonky. Your shoulder's not picked up at the right angle to lock those treads in right, because that tread side is locked in correctly. That tread side is not locked in correctly, and now you lock in correctly. Ah! This Transformer, man. This guy is really cool, but he definitely is a reminder of order of operations. If you don't do something in the right order with him, for some reason, everything will screw up, especially with these shoulders, because these shoulders are just weird sometimes. It's just a weird shoulder. Plug in shoulder, please. For me, for Blind Prime. There you go. Who's a good shoulder? You're a good shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. No, you didn't do it right again. Shoulder. Why are you making me look like a fool on camera? Come on, shoulder. Come on. What's wrong with you? We're just going to lower that bit down, I guess. We're going to fold this bit in. And then, I know, we're not doing it right, but darn it, I got to figure out what's wrong with this connection here. Why aren't you connecting the way you're supposed to be connecting? There it goes. Okay, now I can pull this piece back up. Okay. Now I gotta push this little bit into that little bit. But that little bit is hidden by the arm because that was the thing I said not to do. But we can go ahead and pick this arm up now that I figured everything out. Plug you back in. Plug you back in, sir. There you go. Who's a good leg? You're a good tread. Now, we're going to plug this guy back over here, and we've quite got it. There it goes. Ah, that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. But there's a nice little cute tank. We can go ahead and take hot lights. We can go ahead and take these guns now, and we're gonna put his little pistol is going to go on the top of the tank, and that's going to become that 50 caliber gun that's always on the roof of a tank. The anti-personnel weapon on top of a tank. There we go. Now the tank's got its anti-personnel weapon. Isn't that cool? And then we can take these guys, and if you feel on back here towards the back of the tank, you'll notice that there's two rectangular pegs that have been revealed, and you can put both of these guns into those pegs and make this guy quite a formidable force. So go ahead and plug in one of them into the right place, please. Thank you. All right, there it goes. And then the next one is going to get plugged in over here. Here we are. And they sit next to each other pretty well. And then you get these two cannons that you pick up, and they act as mortar tubes on the back of this tank. I think that's really quite neat. Then again, you can also plug them in differently if you want. There's a few ways to do it, but that is how you do it with that. And is his tank cannon blast effect compatible? Sadly, it is not. Now, the transformation. I'm going to give that transformation an S ranking. That is a good transformation. I know this guy costs $44 now, and I hate that this guy costs $44 now. I do not like that they increased the price by so much over such a short period of time, and it did price me out of a lot of things. And I'm really hoping that that the prices come down over this next year. I really hope that happens, because $44 is just a little too much. But at the same time, they did do their best to make sure that when you pay that $44, you're getting something for it with Brawl here. This tank, this transformation from robot to tank is really good. You got a lot of things going on here. You do a lot of things, and the tank folding out part is fun. The arms becoming the sides and having that little piece that folds out really, really got me. I was not expecting that, and that took a bit to figure out. And everything about the transformation was fun, in my opinion, and that's why I'm going to give his transformation an S ranking. This is a top-notch transformer and transformation. Now, to the tank mode here. This tank mode is a cute little tank mode. It's not too bad. We've got decent sizing here, and actually, let me grab a vehicle mode to compare with. Let's see. Who do I have in vehicle mode right now? I have Alchemist Prime, and do I have anybody up here in vehicle mode? What about up here in vehicle mode? I gotta move backwards just a bit. Let's see who I can find. Oh yeah, there we go. Sideswipe mold. And I was hoping to find another tank, but this will work. And that's not Sideswipe mold, that's Sunstreaker. Here's the Sideswipe. Alright, so this tank compared to Alchemist Prime is about the same in length. The tank is a bit longer than Alchemist Prime. Height-wise, the tank and Alchemist Prime are about the same in height. Alchemist Prime is a little taller, but not by much. And if you count the tank turret, Brawn is taller than Alchemist Prime, minus the guns on top of Alchemist here. Weight-wise, Brawn wins hands down over Alchemist Prime. That is definitely a heavy, heavy action figure. Now, comparing him to the Sideswipe G2 mold, Sideswipe G2 is longer than Brawn. Brawn is taller than Sideswipe G2. Brawn is also much heavier than Sideswipe G2. And finally, Sunstreaker. And Sunstreaker here, him and Brawn are the same length, and weight-wise, there's a big difference. They're made out of the same plastic, though. It's just that Brawn is sturdy, Brawn is heavy, and I want to get one Voyager to compare, because I just compared him to a bunch of deluxes. Let's get... Here's a good Voyager to compare him to. 86 Ratchet. 86 Ratchet and Brawn together. 86 Ratchet is definitely longer than Brawn. 86 Ratchet is definitely taller than Brawn. Here's a better comparison. But weight-wise, they weigh about the same. 86 Ratchet and Age of the Primes Brawn are about the same on the weight level. I say that they've managed to pump a lot of plastic into this small figure, and that's why I'm going to give this tank mode an S ranking. I love the textures on it, by the way. The sculpt work on this is phenomenal. The paint work is great. I like the glossy feel. I really enjoy this. I like that every one of these turrets has its own individual textures. Everything about this guy is just... It is a pleasure for the fingertips. This is a really well-designed figure. This is a really well-textured figure. This is a figure that I am happy to own, and I definitely tell you this, I'm not selling this guy. But then again, Bruticus is my favorite combiner, so I am very excited to get them. I wish I could have gotten Blastoff, but Christmas season just it wasn't happening for me, and that's, you know, sometimes that happens. But I will get Blastoff and Onslaught and Swindle as soon as I can. ASAFP, that's for sure. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. My overall ranking of this guy is an A+. He's got 2, or an S-, if you will, because he's got 2 S ability parts and then an A+ part. He is a phenomenal figure. All in all, a really great start to the new year, in my opinion. Let's see how the rest of these Combaticons go, because Vortex was amazing. Vortex ended up in the top 10 for 2025, and this guy, without a doubt, is entering the top 10 of 2026, unless, of course, something better comes along. And I'm like, I'm not sure something better will. I'm just blown away by this guy. It's like whenever I got Cyclonus at the start of that year, and just was like, oh, well, I think I found the best figure of the year in January. Well, if Leo Kaiser comes out, maybe things will change. Until next Prime, I've been Blind Prime, and this has been my co-host, Cream the Cat. Who's a good Cream? You want to give me kisses? You want to go back to sleep? You want to go back to sleep, but you've been sleeping the entire video. Huh? Yeah, you get headbutts? Okay, I'll accept headbutts. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.